Hi students, this presentation will show you how to write the descriptive essay. So congratulations, you're about to learn how to write a basic descriptive essay. Before you view this entire presentation right now, make sure that you have a pen or pencil so that you can take notes. Make sure that you have printed the descriptive essay assignment and that you're looking at it. Do not start working on the assignment until you have a good understanding of the assignment. Contact the teacher for guidance. You should have read the descriptive essay chapter in your textbook, and it's okay if it takes you a few days to read this entire presentation, okay? Here is a snapshot of the assignment, and the operative word is snapshot, okay? The operative word is snapshot. If you want to view the entire assignment, you need to contact the teacher to view the entire assignment, okay? Contact the teacher to view the entire assignment. If you are an online class, it's online. It's already online. If you're face-to-face class, then you have to get the assignment from me. You need to, once you receive the full assignment, you'll see the topics, and you'll see the guidelines for this paper. Since you'll have to cite a source, you need to mention the artist's name and the title of the artist's work as a point of reference, and you need to mention the author's name and the title of the source as a point of reference. You have to have at least one um, in text citation or one quote per body paragraphs. Okay, per body paragraph. And you must have descriptions throughout your essay. You have to have a conclusion, of course. No glaring grammar mistakes, write in third person point of view. And you have to have a works cited page since you are citing a source. So, what is the descriptive essay? Basically, a descriptive essay is an essay with vivid descriptions that entices or enhances the reader's five senses. So, the point is to describe your text, in this case, a picture, in such a vivid way that I feel like I want to just jump into your essay. Okay. I feel like I'm just really in your essay. And basically, in other words, you want to use an over exaggerated number of adjectives. Okay. So if you look at this example here, the before this sentence basically said the boy ran down the street into a house. But if you want to make it more descriptive, you have to use descriptive words or adjectives. And so now it's the lazy, what kind of boy? Lazy boy ran down the what kind of street? Dusty, narrow street into what kind of house? Big, bright house. Okay. So you have to describe everything in detail and great, almost over exaggerated details. Step one for this paper, to start writing this paper, the first thing you need to do is find a picture. Find a picture with a main character, text, and a background. So this picture right here has interesting characters, a background. And so the student who chose this picture um, received a high grade. This picture has characters, text, and a background. The student who chose this picture made a high grade. Okay. Because there was something, the stories told a story, there was something in the picture to write about. But students who decide to choose pictures like this, like a beach with just trees and water, they don't do so well with this paper, okay? Because there's nothing in it. Remember, you have to write a two-page paper, and you have to fill up pages, and you can't explain the picture, you have to describe it. You have to actually describe what you see in the picture. Okay. Um, and this picture did not receive a good grade because it's just a bunch of polka dots. But I do have students who will choose pictures like this, and besides writing, when they can't write more than a paragraph, they there's nothing else to do, so they start explaining the picture instead of describing it. So choose your pictures very well. In many ways, your picture has a lot to do with your grade. Okay. If you're interested and passionate about your picture, you will do a better job. That's the truth. That's the truth. I'm trying to draw an exclamation point right there, but that is truth. I put a check mark. Yes. Okay, step 2. When you find your picture, you need to figure out what is the picture trying to convey to me. We're going to use the picture Jungle Fun by Sophie Harding for this presentation. So if you look at this picture, you have to try and figure out what is the artist trying to convey in this picture? Why did the artist choose to create this picture? And find one word overall gist of the picture or summary of the picture. So if you look at this picture, obviously it's very colorful. Animals are all coexisting with each other. They look very friendly. Everything looks like it's at peace, right? So it looks like maybe the artist wanted to convey a peace, like what would an ideal world look like? Maybe a peaceful world. Maybe the artist, everything is diverse. The animals are diverse. All of the nature is diverse. Maybe the artist may be trying to say something about diversity. Okay, so once you find your summary of the picture, your overall gist, then you're gonna start writing your thesis statement. And the gist should always be part of your thesis statement. Okay. So for this picture, let's say that the gist of the picture is all about peace. The artist wanted to convey peace in the world. Okay. So your thesis must mention a character, the characters in the picture. So your picture is supposed to have a character or two. Your picture is supposed to have a background, like we said before, and a text, possibly text. It doesn't have to have a text, but if you want more to write about, try to find a text, a picture with a text too. So, this is how you write. Look at this very carefully. This is how you write a descriptive thesis statement. So you start off with the picture represents what? The gist of the picture piece because of the animals. And in this case, I would say the setting, right? So right here, you would add the setting. And there is no text. So you don't have to worry about describing the text because there's no text there. But these 2 points piece, because of the animals and the setting, that's all you need in a picture like this because this picture has a lot in it. So you can write a 2 point thesis statement and you can write 2 body paragraphs just focusing on animals or describing the animals, and then maybe 1 body paragraph describing the setting or vice versa. Okay. Then you're going to start describing the picture, the characters, the background, the text. Don't just randomly describe the picture. Think about which aspect of the picture you want to describe first. Do you want to describe the characters first? Do you want to describe the setting first? Do you want to describe the text if there's a text to describe? Okay. Um, wait, if you, depending on what you are going to describe, for instance, if you describe the characters first, since the gist of the picture is all about peace, you're going to describe how the animals are getting along. You don't want to ignore that. Okay. You're not going to say something like, oh, the animals are faking. They really want to kill each other. No, because that wouldn't match your thesis. So you're focusing on peace. So everything has to focus on that theme, right? Um, and if you when you describe the setting, the setting are the mountains, the clouds, the trees, all of that is the setting. And since the gist of the picture is about peace, you're going to describe the harmonious setting. Okay. So also with describing, you have to interpret. So this assignment will require you to interpret what you see in the picture. Okay. So you'll have to interpret what you see. So I would use the symbols and meanings chart. Okay, I would use that. And I would look at what's on there. This is just a snapshot. Again, you'll have to go online and you will have to find this entire handout. It is online for all classes. So if you get a picture and you see the color red, red could mean, passion or aggression. It could be it's a color that has double meanings. Also the colors like, green, that has a double meaning. Green can represent good luck, but it could also be mentioned be envy. You could be envious. I could be green with envy. Also, there are some words that have double meanings, like, the color black and white. So white on one hand could represent purity, but on the other hand, it could represent death. And black is another color that on one hand it could represent something that is bad luck. On the other hand, it could represent good luck. Okay, depending on how you perceive your picture. And again, just go online and you'll find this entire handout. Okay, so that's really important. Okay, so next. Okay, so if you decide that you want to describe the animals first or the characters, pay attention to the point of reference. Is the animal on the left side or right side? Okay. So you would say to describe a picture like this, you would say on the right side, there is a lion. If you want to start describing the lion first. Okay. You would say on the right side is a lion. Or if you want to start describing the giraffe, you would say in the middle of the picture is a giraffe. So here, when you describe something, you want to start from the top to the bottom. So you can want to go up and down. Okay. So the lion's mane is bright orange and is shaped like a circle. His mane has 10 dark, squiggly lines. His orange mane means that he likes attention. That's my interpretation. Remember, I told you have to look at that symbols and meanings chart and you have to interpret what the color orange in this case, what does that mean about him? What does that represent? And then the lion has an oval shaped face with two black dots for his eyes. And his eyes can represent his power. Okay. His black eyes can represent his power. Do not have a paragraph where you're just describing colors because that's going to make your paper very redundant. And do not skimp over details, guys. So, this paper is not a hard paper to write. However, a lot of students have a hard time with details and drilling down to details. Your job for this paper is to drill down to details. Okay, you have to really take the time and be very thorough when you describe and with your details. Okay. So MLA and sources. So you have to think about this for your source when you cite a source. You have to think about, look at this picture and what article or book or website do you think would be a good complement to this picture? What would you use? What would you choose? What subject would you try to find to complement this picture? Well, if you look at it, you have to just logically think about it. It's a whole bunch of animals. It looks like they're in the jungle. So I may want to find an article about, the jungle or wildlife or nature. Okay. That's one source you can find to and then pull quotes from that source and put in your paper. Or you can think about, okay, what's the gist of the picture? We said it's about peace. So maybe find a topic about peace, something, an article or text that focuses on peace, and just um, see how you can use it or see what places where you can identify or put your quotes. Okay. And then you may want to find something about the artist. You know, can you find something about the artist, a text about or a source about the artist? What does this artist tend to write about or draw about or create? Um, think about that. What's the main subject of his or her art? And you may find something interesting. It's like, for instance, if you want to describe a picture uh, about Van Gogh, if you want to describe a picture about one of Van Gogh's paintings, Vincent Van Gogh, You will probably go to the Dictionary of Literary or the Dictionary Britannica, and you could probably find so much about him because he's a famous artist. And you can use that. You can use whatever you find there and strategically put it in your essay. You can always find an art focused source to cite in your essay. This is you're describing art. So, you can always find something, a source that focuses on art. You can always cite the Dictionary of Literary Symbols. The Dictionary of Literary Symbols, you can find it on Galileo. And what's interesting about the Dictionary of Literary Symbols is it is everything in the book basically focuses on symbols. And just like your picture, you will have symbols in your picture. So some students find that source easy because, they can identify like all of the symbols, like some symbols in the painting or in the picture. And it's just easier for them to cite that when they use the dictionary of literary symbols. And then, you can find, again, think about the characters. What are they doing? They're animals, they're in the jungle. So, again, find something that focuses on nature, a source that focuses on nature. And read the MLA section of your textbook or go to a reliable MLA website. And here's an example of what your paragraph will look like. You'll have your introduction with your thesis, and you'll mention the title of your picture and the artist name and the author's name and the title of your source that you have to cite. Okay. And then you'll just describe that. And then you'll have your source that complements what you are saying. Okay. So, last question. Write a thesis statement based on this picture. Okay, look at this picture very carefully. Write a thesis statement based on this picture. Let's see what that looks like. So, here, step one, as you can see, is you find a pic. Okay, find a picture. That's the first thing you want to do. Next, you're going to think about what is the artist trying to convey. Find the one word to summarize the painting. Or the picture. It looks like it's a hardworking community. Everybody's working. It looks very traditional. It looks like it's in America, maybe rural. The yards look nice. Everything is neat. I see a church. Although I do see rain clouds. Um, so I don't know. Maybe those rain clouds, maybe that means something. You can go deep there. If you feel like that means something, those clouds mean something, then go ahead and write about that. It's a community. So I would definitely say maybe this picture represents community. You can go into the type of community. Okay. So once you identify that, then you want to start writing your thesis statement. So for this thesis, I would say something like the picture represents. Okay, this is your standard descriptive thesis when you're describing a picture. The picture represents a hardworking community because of what's in the picture. The characters, you always have characters, and the background. Okay, that's a 2 point thesis. That's all you need because there's so much to describe in this picture. Okay, so once we have our thesis, now how do we start writing at least our first body paragraph? Okay. How do we start writing it? Well, first, the picture represents a hardworking community because of the characters. So we're going to focus on the characters first, since that's our first thesis point. And then, for example, the man in the foreground of the picture is digging. His hair is dark brown, which represents his endurance. His skin is toned and muscular. He is wearing olive green pants, which could represent his vitality. Okay. So notice how again, I'm telling you where he is. Okay. I'm just not randomly describing him. I'm telling you this is where he is. He is in the foreground of the picture. Okay, he's digging. His hair is I want to start my description from the top to the bottom. His hair is dark brown, which represents his endurance. That's my interpretation. His brown hair represents what? Endurance. Okay. How do I know that? Because I looked at the handout of symbols and meanings. His skin is toned and muscular. He is wearing olive green pants, which could represent his vitality. Okay, so all of that's my interpretation. And then after I start describing and writing my paragraph, okay, follow the rest of the assignment's instructions. Okay, you want to cite your source. And that's how you pretty much write this, start writing your essay. Okay, just start. Follow those simple instructions, and you guys should be okay. You'll be okay. And just keep working on it, and you will be okay. But that's it. If you have any questions, let me know. Contact me if you have any questions. And that's the end of this presentation. Thank you.